Happy 4th of July. USA, USA, USA. Free domain free. Instead of the fictional MG and Canon version, there are now 2 Renault FDs. The MG only female version. And the Canon only male version. Thanks to new Mark V config standards, even the Renault's Canon can penetrate tracks. This was possible for a while, but I never actually got around to setting up air torpedoes until now. In TAP Mark V, the age of heat shells will end, and the age of armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding sabot shells shall begin. Unlike the original T-80, the T-80BV is covered in explosive reactive armor. However, APFSDS shells rip through air as if it was paper. From the side, tank tracks will often absorb heat shells and missiles. The core is almost at full health. APFSDS shells can reliably rip through tracks and do additional damage to the core. In Mark V, artillery will be much easier to use. Most self-propelled guns will share a universal firing arc which is optimized for Minecraft's render distance. The rangefinder has been simplified and comes with a list of angles and ranges which will be universal to most SPGs. Those 2 stone blocks stand between the 100 and 150 meter marks. Therefore, I guess the range is about 130 meters. 60 degrees is 142 meters, and 65 degrees is 120 meters. Therefore, 63 degrees should be close enough. Instead of waiting for the round to hit, you easily could have relocated, and the enemy would never know what hit them. At Tier 2 is the T-55A, armed with a 50 cal and a 100mm cannon. Also at Tier 2 is the T-62, which has less utility but has a superior 115mm cannon which can use APFSDS shells. At Tier 2.5 is the early T-64, 1963, which has the same 115mm cannon, but also has a 50 cal, superior mobility, and composite armor. In comparison, the T-64 is a dream to drive. At Tier 3 is the T-64B, which has a stabilized 125mm cannon, and can fire APTGMs. At Tier 3.5 is the T-64BV, which has smoke launchers and ARA. Like the T-80BV, the T-64BV is highly resistant to heat shells and ATGMs. The missile model only appears if the vehicle is loaded. Like the T-80BV, the T-64BV is highly resistant to heat shells and ATGMs. The spaced armor on the turret can block one heat shell or ATGM, however, it is not very reliable. the automatic 57mm cannons are deadly against tanks. But I tried to balance them with an annoying shell loading system. Haha, funny meme xdxddd. Like era, human flesh can stop heat shells, and is useless against APFSDS shells. Canister shot is very weak against tanks, so if a friend is being swarmed by infantry, it is safe to friendly fire.